Hey, can I ask you something? Why does it seem like some married women lean on their friends for help but hesitate when it comes to asking their spouse for help? Hey,
What is wrong if your married friend is asking you for money, especially when you're single, you're not married, okay? And your married friend is always asking you for money. Okay, give me $10, $100, $200 there. I need it for something, something, something. Do you really, when she asks for money, do you always think about why is she not asking her husband? Why is she not asking her husband? Because the thing is, some married women are complaining, and some single women are complaining that they don't know why their married friends usually ask them for money. And when they ask them for money, they're always like, why can't you ask your husband? Should be you're married. Can't ask your husband. Why are you stressing me? Why are you stressing me? Go and ask your husband, okay? And hmm, do you feel that way? If you're single, do you feel that way when your married friend asks you for money? Do you feel like, why should I ask the husband? Why should she asking me? Is that how you feel? Let me know your thought down in the comment section while we watch these videos together. Then I'll share my thoughts at the end of all the videos.
can I ask you something? Why does it seem like some married women lean on their friends for help but hesitate when it comes to asking their spouse for help? For example, like your child has an event or you have to be somewhere, rather than asking your husband to adjust their schedules, you like lean on your single friend and be like, hey, can you watch them for an hour or two? Because maybe your husband just doesn't want to be bothered to watch his own children. And I always found that strange. Like, what is your partner doing? Like, why can't they help in this instance? Another thing is emotional labor. Like, if you are willing to spend hours like venting to me about how you're overwhelmed about the household chores, you're overwhelmed with your children, how your partner is not helping, I'm like, why don't you bring it up to them and tell them that you're overwhelmed because they are, again, your partner, and they can help to alleviate some of that burden and stress off your plate. And there are some married women who are asking their single friends for financial help or even like help with logistics and planning and transportation. I'm always like, why are you coming to your friends first? Why aren't you going to your partner first? And of course, I have my thoughts on this. Maybe some people are afraid that if they go to their partner, it might lead to an argument. They might see that like their partner is not willing to help and they might have to make tough decisions about their marriage or if they want to be in that situation further. Again, this is not to pass judgment on anyone. It's just a genuine question because if you have a partner, a husband in the house, why is it that you feel uncomfortable going to ask this man for help, but you don't feel uncomfortable asking your single friends for help? And I genuinely want to know this when it comes to resources because from my assumption, if you have two adults in the house, that's double the income and you have two of everything. Versus if you're single, you don't have another income to depend on. So it's always weird to me when a married person comes and asks like a single person who has assumption that they have less resources for help rather than going to their partner and leaning on them first. And it's not to say that you can't ask the community for stuff if you're married. It's just like, why do you feel uncomfortable asking your partner for help and you're not uncomfortable asking your friends for help? It's just weird. Why does it seem like some married women lean on their friends for help but hesitate when it comes to asking their spouse for help?
There's this popular content creator who recently lost her 3-year-old baby to accidental drowning. She was postpartum from her second child. She finally got herself together to go out with her friends. She was out of the house less than 30 minutes and her husband was not paying attention to that child. And in 22 minutes while she was gone, 22 minutes, that baby drowned. There's another woman who her husband was plastered all over social media. He was consistently leaving the kids in the car in the heat, in the cold. The time where his youngest child died was not the first time he did it. His oldest two children was begging him to go get the baby out of the car in the garage. And he was playing video games and let that baby pass away. These women know who they're marrying. The veil has been lifted. Okay? We know what's going on in a lot of these marriages, and y'all grin and bear it and y'all pretend like happy, but enough pretending, because not only are y'all enduring an unbelievable amount of abuse and stress, but your children are enduring it too. Hell, everybody want to blame the rise in autism diagnoses on what they say in the vaccines, but nobody want to talk about the fact that fetal abuse of the mother and child in vitro is so high that the stress that the baby is enduring, that's probably what's messing up the genetics. Hell, a lot of the shit is decided by father. So not only do y'all got sperm, but on top of that, once y'all conceive, y'all is literally beating these women into the ground, sometimes physically, a lot of times emotionally, mentally, and financially, literally dragging them through the mud when y'all should be literally waiting on them hand and foot, coming to every I can call these women is having to work 40 plus hours, come home, take care of the other kids, and can't even get a break to go out with friends to get something to eat without having to be fearful that y'all not going to pay attention to the kids. These women know they can't trust the men that they laying next to every single night and still continue to lay next to them. When do this shit stop? Of course they're not going to trust them. They're constantly being punished in their home, punished for wanting free time, punished for wanting time to themselves, punished for wanting autonomy to their body, punished for having feelings. The truth is being revealed. You can't look the other way. Honestly, as a friend, I'd rather you call me than have to attend your baby funeral.
Why does it seem like some married women lean on their friends for help but hesitate when it comes to ask?
Not just married women asking their single friends, but also child-free women, especially if you're like single and child-free. I've been experiencing this for a couple of years, and it's actually why I don't have a large friend group, because I noticed that, well, baby mama, you guys will come running towards us with it's not even just finances. I've had a couple of friends, like, during the month they would ask me for like, oh, please send me 300, I don't have enough money for electricity, I need to get groceries, oh, we need money for Uber. And I'd send it like, girl, you're my home girl, sure, 300, 600. I've done things like that. I've bought groceries for friends because they have kids and baby daddy is not spending enough money, or they just don't have enough money, so they would come to me, a single child-free woman who happens to also live at home. So yeah, I have extra money, sure. And I was like always thinking that I'm just being a good friend, until I realized that no, this is not just about finances and being a good friend. Because if it was me to ask them for help, it would be, oh, but I have kids, I don't have money, he hasn't sent me money yet, I can't do that, but immediately expect me to do it. And the emotional support is also quite draining, and something that I would say as child-free women we experience with our friends, where you guys come to us for support and advice, and not just for children but also relationships. And oh, my man did this, my baby daddy did that, girl, let's go out and have some drinks and stuff like that. Oh, the kids are doing this, the kids are doing that. And it's all about your life problems, your emotional venting, your drama, never about let's share the communication in that. And I've always been a friend that's very much empathetic, compassionate, and I'm a good listener. So I always thought it was like, no, I'm just being supportive, I'm just being a good friend. But as the years go by, I realize that no, well, baby mama and married women and stuff are using us. They're using us because they would never go to their husbands, their family, and maybe they do, some of them, but they don't share certain things with their family, and then come to us as single and child-free women to come trauma dump, emotional dump, and financial dump in the disguise that, oh, this is friendship. No, it's not friendship, because if I had to come to you with my problems, it always just seems like I'm being petty. And oh, your life is not bad, imagine if you had kids. And oh, it's not that bad. Like, they give us terrible advice and then expect us to also go on the bandwagon of approving their decisions. After some time, I would just tell my friends, like, yeah, it's because you have kids, that's why you have these problems. And now I'm the bad person because I'm highlighting that, yeah, you chose the wrong man to have a kid with. Why were you having kids with that man? And then it just happens that we end up not being friends. I think it's nothing about beef or whatever. I have told some friends that, what, I can't do this friendship because it's all one-sided. But it's just like a thing that happens. We just naturally become disconnected. I realize that I'm not willing to sacrifice my emotional bandwidth and finances as well to be in a friendship that is one-sided.
If your friend is your friend, like your friend, you're a very good friend of yours, and she's asking you for money, and the next thing you're thinking is, why didn't you ask your husband? I don't think she's your friend. I don't think you really like her like that. But probably she's your acquaintance. Some people are not so close to you like that. They'll just be asking you for money all the time. You can ask, what about your husband? But if she's your friend, you're, together, and she asks you for money, you should even know better. In fact, you should even be angry that she did not ask you first, that she's asking her husband. Okay, I feel like that is friendship, right? If you guys got each other's back. Well, if it's just somebody there's some people that you're not so close to them, but you guys talk, right? And you notice that they always keep asking you for money all the time or help and all of that, and they never ask their husband for it. you can ask or you can think that way. It's okay for you to think that way, right? And I feel like some married women take advantage of this particular thing, right? So they feel like because you're single and you're working, you have money, you don't really need money, or you don't really know what to use money to do. So that's why they keep asking you for money. Really, some women are doing. In fact, if you really talk to them, you really know that that's how they feel about you. Especially when you're child free, right? They always want to come and talk to you and be like, you don't have a child. I have a child. I have a lot of responsibility. I need money. You don't really need money. Like, just give me money. Let me buy this. Let me buy that. Or probably you bought something that they will never even think of buying because they've not even done important things for their children. And you are buying it. Probably you bought a very big gadget that you don't even need. You just feel like let me just buy it because it's your money, right? You can spend your money however you want to spend it. They start making it feel like you don't actually know what you want this money to do. And they always want to ask you for money just because they feel like you have money and you don't have much responsibility. That is a wrong take. Some even go as far as asking for help, right? They want to go somewhere, they have husband and they have children, so they want to go somewhere, and you, because you're child free, probably you work from home or your work is very flexible, they want to reach out to you first and tell you to come and take care of their children, or can they bring their children to your place, and you ask them, where is your husband? And they tell you, my husband is at home, don't mind him, he's at home, don't worry, just take care of the children, I will not stay long. I feel like this is you also taking advantage of your child free by choice friend, unless she wants it. But if you keep doing it back to back, and if she mounts that, if she needs help like that, are you down to earth to help her? If you are not down to it, if you are going to be making excuses and make it look like, oh, I have a child, oh, I have children, oh, I'm a married woman, oh, like, then don't stress your child free by choice women. Don't stress your single friends. If you're a married woman with children, don't stress them. If you know that when they need help, when they need things very important and they need you to be there at a particular time of the day, and you're not going to be available, you're going to give excuse because you're married, you're going to give excuse because you have children, limit the way you use your friends, okay? Because it's giving overused. You have your husband. There's sometimes that because you're married to your husband and all that does not mean that even if he's irresponsible, drop those children for him and go to wherever you're going to. I feel like sometimes women are the ones that are killing themselves. You'd be like, oh, my man doesn't know how to take care of the children. Oh, let me carry my children. Leave the children for him. Go and come back. Okay, whatever wants to happen, let it happen. Because if you keep doing like that, especially when you start, that is how it's going to continue. Because anytime you want to go out, they start looking at you. So what about your kids? Because you're always taking the kids along with you wherever you go out. So it's more or less like you're single in a married home. You just might as well just divorce and be a single mother. Let your friend know that you're a single mother and you're doing this all by yourself. A lady that lost her husband, she was talking on TikTok yesterday, and she said she remember when she was still in, or when her husband was still alive, and she was really, really broke. She was having issues with her husband. She cannot ask him for money. You know the way wives do, submissive wives, you know the way they do, and stay at home women. They do not work. They do not, they don't have money. They always stay at home just to obey. Right. So she was one like that, and she was asking, she usually asks her friends for very, very small, ridiculous amount of money, like $2, you know, $10, $20, and they just give her. And she's saying that she does that because she feels like that sometimes that she cannot ask her husband for money, probably they're having issues. And she's also trying to advise women that usually feel like, why don't you ask your husband for money? Because she said there are some women that are planning their escape route, or they are currently suffering in the marriage and they don't want to speak out at that point, and they know that they don't have any income. Some men restrict their wives from working, and they are the ones always providing money. In fact, we watched some videos recently where some women are actually working but they give their husband their paycheck. So at the end of the day, they don't have money for themselves. So, and all of that. So she was like, whenever your married friend is asking you for money and all of that, try when it's very tiny, ridiculous, really small money, you should just try and give, because you don't know what she's going through at that point. Yeah, and all of that. I get that actually. But if you're doing it continuously, you ask today, tomorrow, blah, 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 it's getting too much and your friend does not know what you're going through. I feel like once you've gotten to that place with your friend that you keep asking for money, even though it's ridiculously small, back to, I feel like she needs to know what is going on, or else she's going to feel like you're not being truthful to her. You need to speak up to your friend if you're that married woman that is having that kind of issue and you know that you don't have any money or you're trying to gather your exit plan and you feel like asking from your friends will be the best thing. Sometimes when you're doing it for one particular friend and it's too much, you need to kind of tell them what is going on. Let them even help you more, right? I feel like the more you close your mouth, you won't get enough help, right? And most people will not even understand because she also said in her video that you might see some women looking happy, dressing fine, and all of that, but they are going through a lot if you look into their eyes or you listen to them talk and all of that. Most of the time, people don't have time to look into your eyes. You need to talk about what is going on, especially if you have a friend that you can go and meet for money or go and meet for when you have issues. You need to let them know what you're going through if they can help, right? But holding on to it and all of that is not going to help, really. People cannot read your mind. Even if I look into your eyes, if you don't tell me what is going on, I will not know. Okay, unless I'm really, really close to you, then I'll know that okay, something is off about you. But if I'm not really close to you, I just talk to you on a normal day. I don't know. Okay, you need to talk. You need to like, oh, this is what's going on. And if you're kind of the person that posts on social media, post your relationship and show how happy you are, in my head, you are happy. Okay? For you to be posting you are happy, I will not be looking at your happiness and be zooming if there's sadness in your pictures. I can't do that. So I feel like if you are in this position, always try to open up to your friends and let them know what you're going through. And I personally do not see any problem with married women asking their single friends for money. As I said, it depends on the relationship you have with your friend, right? If you're really very close to them, I feel like, in fact, I'll be very pissed off if you don't tell me first and you tell me you ask your husband and he did not give you. I'll be like, why didn't you ask me? Okay. I feel like if you're very close to your friend, there should not be a problem. But if you're not close to that person, it's just acquaintance, you can have that kind of thoughts, right? And then if you're overusing your friend because they are child free and they are single, and you feel like because you're married with children, you don't have time, they have the time in the world. I don't like that. Okay. I don't like that. In fact, you can use them because they're your friend, okay? But use them with sense. Let them also be able to use you. It should not be a one-sided friendship, right? Are you also down to earth when they need you? Are you also very available for them when they need you, regardless the fact that you have a husband and children? Are you going to make excuses for them when they need you? Will you be available? Those are the things you need to ask yourself when you're friends with child free by choice women and single men, especially when you're married with kids. You guys, what's your take? Are you a single woman? Do you get your friends ask for money all the time? How do you feel? Do you usually feel like, why didn't you ask your husband? Oh, you got married and all that. Do you feel that way? Let me know your thought down in the comment section. Respectfully, as always, your Mariah David, and thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this one. Please like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you in my next one.